Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be using the Caputo Pizzeria versus the Molino Dallagiovanna per pizza. So just a quick look at the protein levels. The only difference is 0.5% between them. It made an absolute cracking pizza, both of them did. So I really can't wait to get started. Which one is your favourite? Leave me a comment, you let me know. Have you used both these flours before? What's your experience? So let's get down to business. So for both we need 630 grams of water, 1 gram of yeast, and then we need to mix those together. And if you are using instant yeast, just make sure it dilutes properly. Then we're going to gradually add in the flour. So we need to just mix that together with a fork, and this just helps the kneading process. So we're running each flour side by side as close as we can. So we're now on the Caputo and we're now mixing that together. And in comparison, both flours are pretty equal at this moment in time. The Caputo and the Molino Dallagiovanna are equally taking on the water. So back to the Dallagiovanna, and we're mixing that together now. It's becoming a little bit more stiff. So we'll pop back over to the Caputo and we'll add in a little bit more flour now into the mix. And again, there's not much difference between the two flours. And just whilst we're mixing them together, I'd just like, as always, to say thank you very much to everyone who's taken the time to subscribe, leave comments, ask questions. It's always a pleasure talking to you all. And please feel free to leave a comment on this video. Do you like the style of this video? This is something that I've been experimenting with over the last month or so. I have done comparison videos previously, but not edited together quite like this one. So please let me know if you like this style of video. Your comments will be gratefully appreciated. So just coming to the point now where we've added the last bit of the flour into the mixing bowl for both of the flours. And the next stage will be, we'll start to add a little flour to the work surface, and we'll tip that dough out onto the top. So always just make sure you leave a little bit of flour in the bag, because it really does help when you tip the dough onto top of it. It doesn't stick to your work surface as much. And leave another bit of flour just to clean the bowl out to make sure you get all that together. So we need to mix and knead all this together. And this roughly takes around about 10 to 15 minutes. And as stated in some of my previous videos, this just takes a little bit of time. If you push and roll the dough into the flour, it does become a bit easy. So just comparing the Caputo, just pouring a little bit of the flour onto the work surface. And the thing I did notice at this stage is that the Caputo came out a lot easier. It was less sticky at this stage than the Molino Dallagiovanna per pizza. So again, we're just putting the flour into the dough and pushing, folding and kneading all at the same time. This part is just about being patient. It will all incorporate. You've just got to take your time and just make sure that you're pushing the flour into the dough mixture at all times. Okay, so let's nip across to the Dallagiovanna flour, and you can see all that flour is now incorporated into the dough. So it'll be more about kneading the dough. So just clean the dough off your hands and just giving that a wipe around the work surface. And now we'll go back to the Caputo, and as you can see, most of that flour is now into the dough mix, and we're just now really pushing that excess flour into there. So we only use 1 kilo. There's no extra flour going in here at this stage. So as you can see now with the Dallagiovanna, we're properly kneading the dough, and we should knead for around about 10 minutes. As you can see, there's no sticking to the work surface, so we're all good at this stage with the Dallagiovanna, and mixing together really nicely. So back to the Caputo, and you can see the results are pretty similar at this stage. No sticking to the work surface, kneading away very nicely indeed. So in a couple of previous videos I've been asked about the salt. Don't add the salt in at this stage, because I like to give the yeast a good head start and to make sure the yeast is actually activated So we normally give that about an hour, which will come a little bit later on in the video. But as you can see, with the Caputo, we're all good. With the Dallagiovanna, we're all good as well. So just a couple of taps on the work surface. It's just starting to become a little bit sticky at this stage. And if it does become sticky for yourself, that really does help. So we'll form it into a tight dough ball now. That really is looking very, very smooth. There you go, have a look at that. And now we'll nip it back across to the Caputo. And again, this looks like it's ready to go. So we'll just do a little bit more kneading. Look at that, no sticking at all. But just for consistency, we'll give that a few gentle taps on the work surface. So we're treating each dough exactly the same. So there we go, just a couple of taps. Now we'll make that into a pizza ball. At this stage, the Caputo Pizzeria was not as sticky as the Molino Dallagiovanna. So we need to cover them both for 1 hour each. And then after the hour, uncover, and then we need to start to add in the 25 grams of salt. Now, one of the things I would always use here is the dough scraper. It does make life a little bit easier, especially if you've left it on the work surface for the hour. So just in with the salt there. Same again with the Caputo, so just helping it with the dough scraper, taking it off, and we'll fold in the 25 grams of salt into the Caputo Pizzeria. So that's all that now in. And what we'll start to do next is we will then give them both a knead for 5 minutes. So we'll knead the Caputo Pizzeria first. And this extra little knead just makes sure that all that salt is incorporated. So back to the Dallagiovanna, and we are giving that a knead as well for 5 minutes. One of the things I've been asked as well on one of the videos is what room temperature do you leave it at? Roughly in my house, it's around about 20 degrees or so. It does depend on the time of year here in the UK of what your room temperature is. In the summertime, I tend to use the refrigerator and have a longer proof. So looking quite nice now. We're back with the Dallagiovanna. It's not sticky at all, still keeps coming off the work surface nice and easy. A little bit sticky now, so just giving it a couple of taps, but we'll turn it into the tight pizza ball. Looking pretty darn good that now. There we go, just spinning that round a couple of times, making sure it's nice and tight. Back to the Caputo, and again, just giving that a couple of taps on the work surface, as that was also becoming a little bit sticky at this stage. And then we're going to cover them up, and we're going to let them rest for about 18 hours. So there we are, just pop the Caputo in, and we'll cover that with a shower cap as well. They look fantastic. So here they are before and after 18 hours. So let's make some pizza balls. So let's check out that Dallagiovanna. Look at that, it's stuck to the shower cap. So let's have a look, see what the development looks like. Look at all that gluten. Looks absolutely fantastic. So window test, looks nice and stretchy. Going to be some good pizza dough this. So 230 grams per pizza ball. Spot on. And we're going to be using a bit of the Caputo Semolina flour here. Just helps when you pop it in the pizza boxes. Makes it easier when you take them out to make the actual pizza itself. Those tubs are from Poundland in the UK. And we'll just pop the lid on. Now over to Caputo. Not as sticky, but still got lots of development. Nice and stretchy. And again, 230 grams for this one. And look at that, spot on. So a bit of Semolina flour there just to help make sure it's not sticking, and it helps not stick to your fingers as much. So just forming that one into a pizza ball, and we'll get ready now to put that into one of the tubs as well. Just a quick wipe round with the Semolina flour inside the tub, and then we'll pop a lid back onto that. So we need to let these rest for about 5 hours. And here they are before. And here they are after 5 hours. Pizza's coming up next. So pizza time, best time. So we'll start off with the Molino Dallagiovanna, and that comes really nicely out of that tub. And place it onto some semola flour. That does stop it sticking, and it will help your transfer of your pizza to the pizza peel in the long run. So just stretching that base out now. Super soft. Formed really easily. So we'll just give that a little bit more of a shape, just to knock off any excess flour that's actually on the base itself. We'll use some of the Mutti pizza sauce, just giving that a bit of a spread round. Looks fantastic. And as always, we'll put on a bit of Parmigiano, some black olives, and we'll put on a couple of sun-dried tomatoes on this one. Looks fantastic. A little bit of the grated mozzarella, and now we'll go in with the fresh stuff. Looking fantastic. Next up, we'll put upon some pepperoni. Looks very tempting now, this pizza. And onto the peel. Just a bit of a reshape. And then off to the pizza oven. And we'll put that in. Pizza oven, 400 degrees as always. And this is not edited out. So what you're seeing here is the actual full end-to-end cook. Just warming up the turning peel, as we'll be ready for that first turn. So under we go. Let's give that a turn, and we'll give that a full 180. Look at that crust. Looks fantastic already, and you can really see the crust rising up. So we'll give that a 90-degree turn. It's looking good underneath as well. And now we'll give it another 180. Looking really nicely. Look at that, toppings all bubbling away. And we'll just give it a full 360 and just make sure that everything's starting to cook. And look at that. Let's get it onto the chopping board. Look at that. Let's have a look underneath. That looks pretty spectacular there. So let's have a little look and listen. Yep, nice and crispy. Let's open it up. Looking good. So stop around, because we're going to cook the Caputo next. That pizza looks fantastic. So over to Caputo, and again onto your semola flour, and we'll just start pushing that pizza base out, and using that steering wheel method just stretches it out. Again, super soft, this pizza dough. Not much in it between them at this stage. So just stretching that out. Looks fantastic. There we go. And again, we'll be using the Mutti tomato pizza sauce here. That looks really good. Bit of Parmigiano, same as the last pizza as well. And we'll put on a little bit of the grated mozzarella on this one. And we're going to use the pepperoni here. So we'll pop the pepperonis on. And then we're going to put on a little bit of ham. So this one's for Oliver. He likes his ham on his pepperoni as well. And we'll use the fresh mozzarella in between those pepperonis. Looking absolutely fantastic. Really nice. So onto the peel. Bit of a reshape. And let's get that into the oven. So same temperature again, 400 degrees. And we haven't edited any of this out as well. This is your full end-to-end cook. So we're using the Gozney Roccbox here, and what I would always say about the Roccbox is it's a fantastic pizza oven. But if you're new to making pizza, really keep your eye on it, because it can get very hot and your pizza can burn very quickly. So just with the pizza peel now, so we'll just turn that with a turning peel, and we're going that the 180. Look at that. That looks really good. That nice leoparding effect. So just a 90-degree turn this time, and you can see those toppings are really cooking nicely. Another 180. Looks fantastic. Bubbling away quite nicely now, the cheese. So as I say, you really need to keep your eye on your pizza because it does cook really, really quick. Look at that, fantastic. Let's get that one onto the chopping board. And yep, nice and crispy. Let's have a look underneath. That looks pretty good to me. So let's cut it up. Let's have a look what it's like inside. Looking really, really nice. So the crust hasn't risen quite as much on this one, but still a fantastic pizza. So that's the end product. Which one is your favourite? Please let me know in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching and bye for now.